Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your first day of remote learning. It was pretty crazy. Look at that light behind me. I need to move. I apologize to those of you who had book clubs scheduled for today. I clearly did not know how to use the CPS virtual library. Turns out it's like a real library, and some books, most of the books, you can only check out once. And they're not, I just thought there were like unlimited copies of them because they were files. That is not the case. So I had to redo the book clubs because there are certain books that are simultaneous view, which means you can all see them. And I now know how to log in the right way. So starting tomorrow, I will let you know. I will send emails out to the people who were supposed to go yesterday so that you know what to do, and we'll be in good shape and get access to the books so that you know how to do it for the future. So that's still coming. I'm going to explain it again because I know you probably got a lot of information today. You'll have a book club meeting with me once a week, and that will be where most of your information for reading class comes from. There'll be assignments based on the book club reading, and we'll be doing book club discussions. And then you'll also then have this lesson will either be social studies or writing, and there'll be things to do through this lesson. And that will all be taking place in Google Classroom or Google Hangouts, which I know there's been, and your book club meetings are sometime between 8 and 9 once a week. So I will make sure you know what day you need to come for this week, and then we'll move forward with next week. So also, Gradebook is very updated with lots of stuff that Miss Ray and I entered today. We spent all afternoon entering things that had been graded and grading things. So you should be getting pretty close to knowing what your grade is now. So be sure to be looking at that. And if you have questions about grades, come to the Google Hangout at 11:30 tomorrow, and you'll see what you can ask us questions, and we can make sure we can even like grade assignments and update Gradebook during that time. Okay, so I want to talk about publishing young authors. I know maybe some of you just decided to start it yesterday or today. And so you're not anywhere near publishing, but I think some people are much closer along to starting to think about publishing. So I wanted to just kind of go over some of that and how you can do that from your house. If you remember what I said yesterday, I want this to be a project that brings you joy. I think it's important and good and therapeutic to make things. My husband recently built a loft bunk bed for Grace, and I've been baking a lot. And it's just during a stressful time or time you have to stay at home, creating something is, I think, really powerful. So I'm going to kind of really push you guys to do this. But also you can do it in a million different ways. I don't want you to be stressed about materials or getting stuff or even so much time limits. Because I want you to be able to have this be something you enjoy doing. So I'm showing you this book, which is actually a book my son and I made during our homeschooling at one point in the last couple of weeks. The good old-fashioned construction paper with 3-hole punch and string tied through. The string is falling apart, so this is not a super durable book, but he made this little cover, and he drew another thing and he put it on top, gives it a little bit more dynamic. Look, we did the holes in the wrong place there. It says the Book of Mysterious Creatures, and then he has mysterious creatures that he made up. This is Yupu. It can do something, hit things, I think it says. So that is completely fine. Hole punch, yarn, especially if you're not crafty, there's nothing wrong with that. Another not crafty option, but maybe for someone who really loves to draw, and this is, Grace actually likes to do this. I'm going to show you my screen. I'm doing that right. Yep. And these you would purchase. So once again, you don't have to spend a dime of your own money, but if you wanted to, you could buy these little books from Amazon. They have a ton of different ones. I put in blank books, and this one's only $3.86, but you can buy like a 10 pack for $21. Share them with your friends if you feel like it. And if you love to draw, if you like to write things out, in nice handwriting, I think it'd be a really fun thing to do. So I think that's definitely an option if you feel like going in that direction. And then there's also the good old world of Pinterest, which has so many amazing ideas for how to publish books. And I know I've talked to you guys about this before last year, but there's really endless things you can do. And I've seen people be so creative. And while this is a time where we're kind of stuck at home and maybe feeling uninspired, it could be a time where you really get to dive deep into a project. So there's a lot of different options here. Like this one looks super cute where they put, I think this is like a romantic journal of someone's relationship, but they did this little pocket here, and then it looks like a notebook where they've added love notes and stuff. I mean, you could even do this. You could tell a romance story and make it like a romantic journal like that. That would be cute. We all love a good love story. Love in the time of Corona. There are tutorials for how to make the book completely by hand. This is an example of a book that they took from inside of another book and they put stuff in there. They put letters. I've had kids do that, where the entire book is a series of letters that they write and that they put the letters together in a series. I've had kids use a series of envelopes before where they put them together in those. There's just a ton of really interesting ideas out there. Obviously, I'm going to stop sharing now. Just a sec. Obviously, I am, I love books. I love being crafty. I love paper stuff. So that is something that I think is really fun, and I would love to do it. If that's not something that you really enjoy, you don't have to do it that way. If you like to write and you don't like to draw, then put all your time into writing your story or writing your poems, and then go the good old fashioned, paper punch and yarn route. That is fine as well. So any of those are fine. If you have an idea and you're not quite sure how to do it, definitely reach out to me. I might be able to help you. That can be what we use that time from 11:30 to 12:34 can be those types of questions too. And I'd be happy to do a one-on-one phone call with you, and we can talk through ideas on how you want to do it, materials you might be able to use. I think it'd be really cool to just figure out how to use things around your house, because that's what we're all doing. So that's what Pulitzer is. I definitely do want to give you feedback on your second draft. I know it looks like Anthony had shared a story with me today. I'm assuming that means he's ready for feedback. As soon as you're ready, share it with me, and I'll work through getting that feedback back to you. It will obviously take a while, although for the next couple days, grading should be slowing down for the quarter, so I'll be able to get through as many as you get to me. Today, Louisa had a great idea. She's like, "Can I use my journals from the first month of the quarantine?" And I was like, "Yeah, that would be amazing. You're making a journal of what life is like in a quarantine." And if Eliza, no one is named Eliza, if Louisa wanted to turn that into a diary, that would be really great, I think, and something you'd want to keep for a long time. You can do your historical fiction. You can do something from last year. You can write a news story. You can write poetry. You can interview your family members. You can use this time to get your grandma's recipes down on paper and make a recipe book of your grandma's recipes. You can write a children's story. You can start to write the memoir of the time that you lived through coronavirus. You could write a fictional story of a doctor who's experiencing being separated from their family while they work in a Corona ICU. I mean, there's endless options, and I want you, as always, to be excited about it and to enjoy doing this. I know that is easier said than done if you don't love writing. And I know writing is hard, but I think it will be good for us all to create something. I'm going to try really hard to write a story and do this with you. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but I'm going to try really hard to do that. So anyway, that's that. That's it. That's all I got to say for today. I'm going to talk through a little bit like editing on your own for the next 2 days. There's no school on Friday because there was no school on Friday under the old calendar, and that calendar still applies. And then we'll start on Monday. These lessons will be on the Civil War, and they will be on researching Civil War stuff. So yeah, that's where we'll move in. Probably mostly next week will all be mini lessons on slavery and how slavery impacted the Civil War and impacted our country really up to this day. So it'll be, I think, really interesting, and maybe not sitting in your living room just listening to me talk is weird, but it'll be what it is. And then we'll start the book club. We're going to read a variety of different books. Okay, I'm done for now. Get started on Pulitzer. Be excited about it. Do whatever you want to do. Have fun. Go on Pinterest. Look for things. Get ideas. Look at this. Look at this one. I'm just going to show you real quick before we're done. Share screen. I'm still not used to doing this. Look at how cute that is. Make a notebook from a paper bag. Although I suppose those are kind of hard to find these days since people don't do bags anymore. But this is just a book made from a paper bag. So you can literally use anything. All right, guys. It was really good to see those of you who I saw today. Sorry for any chaos there might have been or confusion. We will get through this together, right? Right. Okay. Have a good night or day or whenever you watch this.